Kenyatta, if you have a person like Takashi 69 who has over millions and millions of followers, he's got a good support system when it comes to the industry because, you know, the industry just want to pimp you anyway, just get that bag. So they invested $10 million into his career while he was locked up, and he signed another contract. Now he's got the bag. But I have to ask you this, Kenyatta. Is it the bag that actually distracts everybody and makes people want to hear more from him? Is because he was able to get out of a situation and still be able to come out successful, quote unquote, at the end of the day by doing something that we all truthfully, deep down inside, we know snitching ain't the right thing to do. What makes you think, or the question to you is, why do you think that the younger generation, I say maybe from 21 and below, why do you think that they actually will cling on and accept Takashi before maybe someone who is 25 and up, before we actually accept him or bring him in or just, you know, whatever?
Well, that's a great question, man. I look at it like it's based on programming. You know, we're talking about many years of programming from the 70s all the way up to now. You know, we're talking about, and I really would say maybe the 80s up to now, where the name of the game was to move the masculine principle out of the household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, you know, what happens is when you do that, because of, you know, children need balance. You know, they need a good check-in. You got to tell them, you got to lead them and guide them in the right direction. This is just a guy that really didn't have principles around him. He didn't have men of principle from his young, very influential years to give him the game and tell him, like, look, this ain't right. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? This is what you do in these situations. If you make a choice and you make a decision to do a certain thing, you got to live with it.
Yes.
Don't panic under pressure as soon as you understand and people in front of you telling you all the years you're going to get, but you should have knew about these years when you made the decision to do whatever you was doing.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And so you're talking about years and years of programming, all these different people, all these youngsters, all these children, all these young adults from my generation all the way back. And you're talking about, you know, breaking the lines of destruction and of programming the wrong people, programming people the wrong way. I mean, damn. I mean, it just takes conversations like these. You know, that's what I always did through my platform with Hip Hop Motivation with Dame. As you saw, we didn't do too much gossiping. You know, we talked about a subject or certain things having to do with him. That's what we talked about. But that was based on me initiating that, because I ain't no gossip dude, man. That's for weenies. That's for punks. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck I want to talk about some 50 Cent for? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even me talking about Takashi right now, it's for an idea to project people to get a better understanding on what this thing is all about. But that's sweet, man. It's like, what are you following him for? You know what I'm saying? He's being programmed still because he's being pushed on people to say, hey, this is what you want to do. You want to tell on people. You want to be a snitch. You want to be a rat.
Yeah.
You know, we want you to be a rat because we need you to be a rat. So, because we need you to tell on people that live right next door to you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And you see what's going on right now. They trying to push stuff right now with vaccines. They want people to tell on each other. They want everybody to be comfortable with snitching. And that's through programming, television, movies. But right now with this guy, you know, with the colorful hair, I mean, you know, it's like weird, man. Like, all this stuff is weird, man. I'm just lucky. I'm just happy I came from a cloth of principles. You know what I'm saying? My father was in my life. He lived in Cleveland. I had my grandfather who was in the Negro League. He was the back catcher for Satchel Paige. Everything was principle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they seen me doing some sucker shit, getting into my feminine nature, getting emotional. My grandfather and my father would check me. They would pull me to the side and tell me what's going on. They didn't check me, punching me in my face or hitting me. They had a conversation with me. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing. Stop hitting your damn kids. You know, when they real little, and you might have to tap a little, you know, the fat meat on the bottom to say, hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot. But all that hitting and all that stuff, nah, you teaching them to fight. Teach them to have a conversation. Teach them to think. Have a conversation with them. You know, implement some punishment. You know what I'm saying? And let them know that every cause has an effect. And Takashi didn't understand the laws of cause and effect because he had no game around him. He took part in something that was agreed upon and then he came back around and told on the people that he moved with.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? My father was in the game growing up, so my father, you know, he never glorified being a drug dealer or being a pimp or none of that stuff that he was involved in, but he always told me, whatever you do, make sure you're a man at all costs. You know, and if you can't live with death, not snitching if you go to jail, by any means, you know what I'm saying, you okay with doing whatever it is you choose to do, but he didn't glorify it. You know what I'm saying? But snitching is a no-no, man. Like if you make an agreement with somebody, you get into the game and then you get out there and you start feeling weak, and you know, how can you live with yourself, man? You just turned into a sucker. And he couldn't stand up like men stand up. You make a decision to do something, you gotta roll with it. If I make a decision to gangbang, I gotta roll with it.
Before I got to finding myself and got into my career of journalism, I noticed something from some of the older people, not all. Right. And that was, not all of them were the same. When I say not all of them were the same, I was able to say, this guy is my OG. This guy right here is a bum. We're taught to believe that every single person that's older than us is our OG.
Right, false.
Fam, let me tell you something. If you don't roll the way I roll or think the way I think, you can't be my OG, fam. Right. Period.
That's based on frequency and vibration. Again, with the law of vibration. See, when you understand these laws, you understand some things you don't vibrate towards. Now, what we might not call an OG, someone else might call an OG because they vibrate on that frequency. You know, it's all about frequency. It's like relationships. Everything waxes and wands. One moment you might be with your girl on the same frequency, and then the next time you might not be on the frequency with your woman. But the name of the game is to understand frequency. Understand frequency, and then you won't be fooled by a lot of different things. So the people that are following them, and I don't really look at numbers because they beef up those numbers. We already know what time it is. You know, we know that if you show niggas standing outside a club, you know, you leave them outside the club, more niggas will pop up and go in the club. I'm from that era. We used to be at Century Club, and we get there, it'd be like 100 people outside. Then we get in, it's only like 30 people inside. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same principle. So if you see numbers, you be like, oh, let me follow them. They're an influencer. Nah, he was made to be an influencer. But what is he influencing? More snitching? More colorful hair? What is he influencing? I don't get it.